For centuries, the rugged mountains of Anatolia forged legends with fire and steel, capturing the shotgun market with ironclad dominance. Yet, a silent evolution has breached the horizon, weaponizing advanced multi-axis computing to construct the next generation of precision centerfire hunting rifles. The old guard of Western manufacturing stands exposed as these Eastern armories engineer microscopic tolerances capable of shattering sub-minute angle accuracy without the premium price tag. This is not a mere expansion of product lines, it is a highly calculated geopolitical assault on the American deer woods, challenging everything you know about absolute field reliability. At the base of our countdown sits the Istanbul Silah Monza, a platform that burst onto the international stage with a highly unorthodox approach to bolt-action geometry. Born from modern CNC manufacturing hubs, the Monza attempts to rewrite traditional ergonomic standards by utilizing a starkly square, blocky rear tang and relocating the manual safety selector away from the traditional thumb positions. Instead, engineers position the safe forward of the bolt handle directly on the right side of the receiver ring, requiring the hunter to completely break their firing grip to prepare for a critical shot. Mechanically, it utilizes a two-lug bolt configuration heavily modified to achieve a short 60-degree bolt lift, mimicking the historical extraction mechanics of the Carcano Model 991 with a fingernail extractor. Weighing roughly 7.3 pounds bare, the platform features a highly competent single-stage trigger breaking cleanly at just over 4 pounds, making it highly balanced on paper. However, this radical experimentation introduces a severe and unforgiving vulnerability in high-stakes environments. Field deployment exposes alarming rates of catastrophic primer piercing due to excessive firing pin protrusion and loose headspace tolerances. When a primer ruptures under intense combustion pressure, searing carbon and metallic debris blast backward through the firing pinhole, quickly fouling the internal bolt body. This heavy accumulation results in immediate mechanical binding, leading to subsequent light primer strikes and failure to fire malfunctions when a mature buck is standing directly in your crosshairs. The price for this polarizing bolt-action platform is €719. Claiming the number 4 spot is the Retay Gamelander, a highly specialized surgical instrument engineered to ruthlessly exploit a massive legislative shift in the American Midwest. As local jurisdictions systematically ban high-velocity bottleneck cartridges to mitigate ricochet distances in populated flatlands, hunters are legally forced into the straight-walled cartridge paradigm. Chambered in heavy-hitting dominators like the 350 Legend, 450 Bushmaster, and the classic 444 Marlin, this break-action single-shot rifle prioritizes mechanical simplicity and extreme weight reduction. The true mechanical brilliance lies in Retay's proprietary deep-bore drilling process. Instead of inducing immense metallurgical stress through rapid hammer forging, the barrel is meticulously bored directly from a solid bar of high-grade 4140 steel. This creates a dead straight bore immune to thermal shifting, ensuring exceptional cold-bore precision. Weighing just 6.7 pounds, the platform points naturally like an upland bird gun. Firing a massive 250-grain projectile generates a violent kinetic impulse, but Retay tames this beast with their patented airy recoil system. It acts as a shock absorber that stretches and compresses to disperse the aggressive kinetic wave. However, the undeniable deal-breaker is its inherent lack of firepower. A single-shot mechanism strictly limits your tactical advantage to sub-200-yard engagements and completely eliminates the possibility of immediate follow-up shots on running game leaping through timber. The price for the straight-wall specialist is $499. Taking the number 3 spot is the Derya RAN Ironwolf, a tactical resurrection of the legendary lever-action platform. For generations, traditional lever guns dominated the dense northeastern swamps and thick pine forests where engagements rarely exceed 75 yards. Derya Arms recognized this enduring legacy and engineered a hyper-modernized brush rifle. By bypassing standard bottleneck rifle cartridges, the Ironwolf chambers heavy-hitting revolver rounds like the .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, and .45 Colt. When a 240-grain .44 Magnum is unleashed from the sealed 18 or 20-inch barrel, complete powder burn generates over 1,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy for devastating terminal expansion. The mechanical advantage lies in the rapid manual cycling rate. This allows the hunter to chamber a fresh round from the 8 to 10 round tubular magazine without ever breaking their cheek weld or optical alignment. This rifle operates like a relentless mechanical predator in heavy cover. The classic wooden forend is replaced by a skeletonized aerospace-grade aluminum M-lock handguard, turning the platform into a cold, calculated instrument ready for weapon lights and forward grips. The factory-threaded barrel eagerly accepts sound suppressors, reducing the acoustic footprint to a mere whisper in the woods. However, the critical deal-breaker is the severe aerodynamic limitation of pistol-caliber projectiles. These heavy, blunt bullets possess incredibly poor ballistic coefficients, causing kinetic energy to plummet rapidly, rendering the rifle largely ineffective for open country shots beyond 100 yards. The price for this tactical lever action is $899. Securing the number 2 position is the Huglu Ovis G2, a steadfast traditionalist that bridges a century-old artisanal legacy with modern centerfire utility. Huglu translates their mastery of handcrafted shotguns into a beautifully contoured push-feed bolt action. The defining strategic advantage of the Ovis G2 is its receiver footprint. Turkish engineers masterfully machined the receiver profile to precisely mimic the dimensions of the legendary Remington 700 short action. This brilliantly inherits the largest aftermarket ecosystem on the planet, allowing hunters to mount optics with standard American hardware. While competitors blindly strip away iron sights, this rifle retains a highly visible set of fiber optic sights on its compact 20-inch barrel. When freezing rain fogs your glass in the deep cedar swamps, these iron sights act as a critical fail-safe, locking onto the target like a mechanical predator. The factory-threaded muzzle eagerly accepts a suppressor, and the heavy barrel contour soaks up the recoil of a .308 Winchester with zero violent muzzle whip. However, this dedication to traditional materials demands a punishing physical toll. If adorned in its classic Turkish walnut stock, the bare rifle balloons to a massive 8.8 pounds. Lugging this dense pillar of wood and steel up a steep Appalachian ridge will drain your stamina and leave your muscles shaking when you finally need to take the shot. The price for this traditional powerhouse is $849. Crowning the list as the undisputed king of the modern Anatolian hunting arsenal is the ATA Arms Turqua, operating on American soil under its tactical alter ego, the Savage Stevens 334. This platform represents a monumental watershed moment in industrial history, standing as the very first centerfire bolt-action rifle entirely conceived and manufactured within the borders of Turkey. It is the ultimate manifestation of brute force engineering colliding with modern machining precision. The mechanical insight that elevates this rifle to absolute supremacy lies deep within its monolithic architecture. Unlike traditional twin-lug actions that require deep raceway channels milled directly through the heart of the receiver, the Turqua completely abandons internal raceways. By engineering a deeply counterbored 3-lug bolt face where the locking abutments do not protrude beyond the main cylinder, the receiver walls remain immensely thick and structurally impenetrable from front to rear. This slab-sided steel monoblock design radically increases the torsional rigidity of the action. When the firing pin drops and ignites a .308 Winchester cartridge, generating chamber pressures exceeding 60,000 pounds per square inch, this hardened steel fortress refuses to flex. This unrelenting structural stiffness forces barrel harmonics to remain incredibly consistent, delivering a mathematically precise ballistic trajectory. Cycling the bolt reveals a short, fluid, 60-degree throw that effortlessly clears oversized hunting optics. Pushing the bolt forward feels like sliding a heavy steel vault door on oiled glass, locking the cartridge behind multiple concentric rings of armor. Downrange, the empirical performance is staggering. Whether firing 168-grain Barnes TTSX or 165-grain Browning Pro Hunter ammunition, this rifle repeatedly punches sub-minute of angle groups, delivering massive kinetic energy to ethically neutralize targets at extended ranges. It synthesizes the buttery smoothness of premium European craftsmanship with the indestructible lock-up strength of American legacy actions. This is not just a hunting rifle, it is a dominant mechanical force built to survive the harshest freezing precipitation and unrelenting field conditions. The price for this absolute apex predator of the deer woods ranges from $389 to $489. The Turkish manufacturing sector has executed a flawless tactical maneuver, completely shattering the legacy monopoly of Western centerfire rifles. They have weaponized advanced computer, numerical control machining, and raw metallurgical discipline to engineer a new era of field precision. From suppressed lever-action brush clearers to sub-minute of angle long-range monoliths, these Anatolian armories provide the ultimate tactical advantage for any hunting theater. The landscape has permanently shifted, and adapting to this new standard of accessible firepower is the only way to dominate the elements. If you demand uncompromising gear analysis and want to stay armed with the most critical intelligence in the industry, hit that subscribe button right now. Lock it in, stay zeroed, and we will see you on the next deployment.